this might be a nice time to pivot into a topic that I find really interesting. So Democrats, they're going to have to struggle to control the Senate in Georgia. Now that Georgia's flipped blue, that we have these two, they were so close to the races that there's going to be runoff elections in for both Senate seats in Georgia, and that will literally tie the U.S. Senate if the Democrats can win both of those seats. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. There's no Donald Trump to vote against anymore in that runoff election. There's also no Donald Trump to vote for, so Republicans might not show up as much. But they also might show up even more because they're super angry. So this is really interesting. The Republicans have turned on the Georgia Secretary of State. They're asking him to resign. They're asking this guy to resign his post. Why? Because what, he let too many black people vote? Is that what it is? It's got to. I mean, what else? What other answer is there? They're going to a recount now in Georgia, a hand recount. I don't see even at this point. Joe Biden has 306 electoral votes. Like, he doesn't even need Georgia. But it's hilarious. Republican senators, a bunch of Republicans are calling on this guy to resign, and he's been defending himself. And Raffensperger isn't budging. While his announcement Wednesday that he decided to conduct a hand-counted audit of the presidential vote was taken by some Republicans as affirmation of their suspicions, Raffensperger has his own expectation that the new tally will confirm a Biden win. So this guy has come out and had to say, like, look, there is no voter fraud here. There's no widespread nothing but voting. We've had a historic vote and turnout. But Republicans, no, that's not good. You gotta get out, buddy. They don't want him. They don't want him there anymore. Now, this is kind of, it's not, personally, I like it. I like to see if the Democrats are barely hanging by the skin of their teeth, maybe can eke out a win in the Senate. Joe Biden, I think, did well in the election, but again, he wasn't the candidate people were voting for. It was more like we know who they were voting against, right? But now the only joy that I can get from this is to watch to watch Donald Trump squirm. That's kind of fun, but also the turning against one another, because there's nobody left to blame but each other at this point. I mean, of course they're going to blame the Democrats. Of course it's going to be dangerous. There's going to be all these right-wing. Apparently they're planning a big old MAGA drag tomorrow. Apparently they're going to go to Washington and protest. We'll see what happens. We'll see how big it even is. But they're calling some of their things "Stop the Steal." When this is a totally above board legal election, there's hardly even a handful of votes that are questionable. All the voter fraud cases we have are Trump supporters. But now the right is turning on itself. And here's Trump's Twitter page. Let's take a look at some of the gems he's been giving us. He loves to just watch Fox News and quote it. The worst thing you can do is bet against Donald Trump, considering what has been done against him. They flooded the zone with mail-in ballots. We need every vote counted and ferociously. Every vote's getting counted, and it ain't going to Trump. That's for sure. And this is the other thing. I just don't think Trump supporters really realize how hated this guy is. People hate him. He's terrible. This is no way to conduct politics. Oh, and look, here he is crapping on the Trump himself, the president, the leader of the party, going after the Georgia Secretary of State. Here we go. Here's my impression. Georgia Secretary of State is so-called Republican Rhino. So Rhino is an acronym for Republican in name only. Won't let the people checking the ballots see the signatures of fraud. Why? Without this, the whole process is very unfair and close to meaningless. Everyone knows that we won the state. Where is Brian Kemp, GA? Bringing in bringing in the governor into it too. The governor's just like, oh yeah, come on, don't bring me up, come on, buddy. So yeah, I mean, this is the only joy we're gonna get. I mean, he's totally gumming up the transition process. The coronavirus cases are through the roof. He's throwing tantrums. Joe Biden's administration can't even begin to know what they have and what they're doing to get a hold of this thing. And here we are. He's crapping on other Republicans. This is the only joy we're gonna get, people. So you find your joy, spark your joy, right? Here's some Sean Hannity. He's retweeting himself. Yep. 700,000 ballots. Look at all. We're not allowed to be viewed in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, which means, based on our great Constitution, we win the state of Pennsylvania. So he's just trying to say, I win. Nuh-uh, you guys, nuh-uh. And here we have official sources called this election differently. So, like, Twitter's just putting all these, this claim of election fraud is disputed. This is the monster they helped create, and now they're just trying to, like, put a cork in, a geyser of bullshit, basically. Imagine a spewing geyser. You want to know my favorite metaphor for the Trump presidency, everybody? I've said this a few times. Well, I'll save that. Let me get to. He had a great tweet last night that I want to get to. Oh, did he speak? Oh, wait. Oh, did he just go out? So apparently he spoke for the first time today.
Expectations, nobody thought they'd get to that level.
He's talking about coronavirus.
And we have others coming which we think will be at equal level, maybe more if that's possible.
He's trying to act like
in
he
July,
can do his
my
job
administration reached an agreement with Pfizer to provide $1.95 billion to support the mass manufacturing and distribution of 100 million doses.
Well, it's just so inspiring to hear him read from a thing right in front of him. What leadership. Let's see. We'll be having a press conference. Now has learned that the horrendous Dominion voting system was used in Arizona. So it's funny, man. Arizona. This is another thing I said to that MAGA lady. Arizona. He's mad at Arizona because another long-held Republican state that's flipped. I have a Republican family that lives in Arizona. They hate Trump. They hate him. Does anybody in Trump world think that, or any of these people talking about voter fraud, think that the way that Trump talked about John McCain has anything to do with this situation, with the state flipping? Him just being this psychopath that demands loyalty from everybody? Do they think that has anything to do with his loss? That this might turn a few people off? Oh, geez. And here's where it gets fun, for me anyway. Fox News famously called Arizona very early, like pretty damn early, before the AP, before a lot. And I don't know what they knew that other people didn't know. But it really was something. And Donald Trump cannot abide anybody saying anything against him that he don't like. And this is a great tweet. This for me, guys, there are scientists in labs who make hyper palatable food like Cheetos and Pringles, and how do we make them eat until they literally die? How do we make it so good that they will eat it endlessly until their heart explodes, right? It's called hyper palatable food. All of those scientists in the same lab for 100 years can never come up with something as delicious as this, for me. Political pain. Fox News daytime ratings have completely collapsed. Weekend daytime even worse. Very sad to watch this happen, but they forgot what made them successful. What got them there? They forgot the golden goose. The biggest difference between the 2016 election and 2020 was Fox News. So Donald Trump is attacking Fox. Oh, be still my beating heart, my beating taste buds. It's delicious. It's fantastic. It's the greatest thing I could ever hope for. It's Christmas come early. The MAGA lady who screamed at me on the phone for an hour and a half yesterday, I asked her, do you watch Fox News? She said, I don't watch Fox News. I don't. They hate Fox News now. This, Donald Trump is a bull that Fox News was holding on by the tail, and it's done flipped around, and it's got the horns on Fox News now. And Fox News ain't doing too good. It's hilarious. It's wonderful. It's delicious. I can't say enough about it. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. The infighting, I can't. I will always love to see that, because they've been unified this whole time. You know, Republicans, they're getting what they want from Trump. They got everything they wanted. Mitch McConnell, he got his Supreme Court justices. Republicans got their tax cuts. They had years of, calling, of non-political correctness, open racism, having immigrants fear, full of fear every moment of their lives just to leave the house. They got all that. They got everything they wanted out of him. And, some flames burn bright. Some stars, or they burn brightest, but they burn out soon, and that's what Trump is for the Republicans. But, gotta admit, I love to see them fighting with each other for a change. And speaking of that, remember the group that Trump famously during the debate said to stand back and stand by? Apparently the Proud Boys are going to be involved in this event tomorrow. This big nationwide demonstration by his loyal followers. And remember all the people in the press, in just conservative media and elsewhere, who are just like, they're the Proud Boys. Yes, they're militia and they're Western chauvinists, but are they really racist? Can it really be said that they're racist? They're not super hardcore, white supremacist openly like all these other militias are. Tim Pool, the complete hack, idiot goofball on YouTube, had the Proud Boys leader on there. Didn't barely push back on any of his bullshit. Just taking every bad faith point on its face. And now look what we see here. There's infighting in the Proud Boys. Oh no! Proud Boys leaders trying to rebrand the group as explicitly white supremacist and anti-Semitic. You don't say. How? Wow. Who can you trust these days when, groups of weird buzzcut guys want to carry AR-15s around in public at protests? Like, who can you trust? Huh? One of the leaders of the Proud Boys, the far-right group, President Donald Trump told to stand back and stand by during a presidential debate, is trying to rebrand the organization. Explicitly white supremacist and anti-Semitic. Kyle Chapman, the founder of a tactical defense arm of the Proud Boys known for engaging in street violence, claimed in a message on an encrypted chat app Telegram that he has staged a coup against the current leader of the Proud Boys, a Cuban man named Enrique Tarrio. Oh, wow. Jeez. The racist, white supremacist, Western chauvinist group that has a few people of color who, like to go out and club, leftists in the street. He's mad that the group isn't as racist as he'd like it to be, and so he's staging a coup. Not only is Donald Trump staging a coup, there's a coup, a wannabe Ku Klux Klan, right? Ku Klux Klan, I've seen it called. Now this guy is doing the same thing here. He's like, he thinks he can take over the Proud Boys. It's very sad. The Proud Boys used to be really very fine people on both sides. But that's where we're at. Here's the thing, about the Trump era that I think everybody should understand, and that's bad faith and lying and lying about lying. Where does the term alt-right come from? It came from Richard Spencer, the white supremacist, who literally said, I'm going to use this term to hide in plain sight, to just say we're white supremacists. Yeah, we're conservatives, but we're alternative conservatives. Pun intended, whitewashing the idea of white supremacy, right? Like, it's not that big of a deal. And this is where the okay hand signal and Pepe the Frog, we're just joking, man. We're just memeing. It's just a joke. We don't really want to gas people, or we don't really want to commit genocide. They're liars. They lied. They were lying to you the whole time. And every idiot like Tim Pool or Dave Rubin or whatever hack online who says, "Well, I'm a liberal and the left's out of control." Anybody like that who took them at their word, total idiot, total carrying water for fascists. These people are fascists. I'm sorry. Proud Boys, this isn't I'm not a radical leftist Antifa for saying that these people are fascist. I mean, that's their stated goal, that's their stated belief. It's very sad. It's very sad. And so, this, if we're going to get anything good out of this time, this non-Trump, the transition from Trumpism to, Biden America, it's Biden, I want to heal America. Hey, everybody, want to heal. Let's heal the soul of this country. It's bedtime, right? If that's going to happen, these people aren't going to stop hating people of color. They're not going to stop. I mean, so many hardcore MAGA people really do believe that this election was stolen from Donald Trump. That's not going to go away. This idea that the election is illegitimate, what's that going to leave them? If you actually believed that, what would you be prepared to do about it? If you really thought the election was stolen, which again, no evidence proves that it is. That's why all of their court cases fail. It's like everything else Donald Trump tries to do, just utter failure. So, where are these people going to go? What are they going to do? They're going to be angry. They're not going anywhere. 72 plus million people voted for Trump. And, this is the monster conservative media has created. And I don't know what the answer is. I've always thought the answer is just outvote these people, but I don't know what else can be done at this point. It's really concerning. I think it's good if they just fight with each other. Trump is rumored that he's going to start his own media world. He's already been talking up OANN, the One Action News Network or whatever it's called. Super hardcore far right. Has literal like Russian plants working there. Just crazy. Epoch Times is, just like one tick before that stuff. Nutty. Just nuttier than squirrel turd, man. This stuff. And so that's all that's left is if the right is going to lose power, it's going to be because they're going to be too busy fighting each other. The country club business Republicans are going to be too busy trying to swat away the QAnon people like Marjorie Taylor Greene in the House. There's a QAnon supporter in the House of Representatives. Democrats try to blame Ilhan Omar, AOC, the squad for messing up the chances of their milquetoast centrist candidates. But the Republicans are, hey, QAnon, roll with it. It's just the Tea Party rebranded with some kooky conspiracy theory stuff. Why not? Man, we can roll with that. They'll roll with anything.